Hello, my name is Minigame and welcome to my guide to the 2022 Archaeology Event. In this video I will go through all you need to know about the event itself, including the mechanics, the rewards, some strategies and a lot more. Now if you are interested in the Butterfly Sanctuary set, I have already made a video on it. This is the main reward in this event and it is a really good one. So if you want to learn more about it, check out my video. You will see it here. It is linked in the description as well. And as it says in the thumbnail, you can get up to 38 forge points or 86% attack. That is combined attack for attacking armies. So you can get some very nice designs for free. So you definitely do want to check that out. Some really good designs. Now in this video I will go over first of all the event rewards, including the daily specials and also how many set buildings you can get. I will go over the event mechanics, including the basics, the tablets, calendar and so on. And then I will also go over some event strategies, some of my recommendations on how to play, if you should go for the calendar and all of that. So if you want to skip ahead using the timestamps, by all means do that. But before I begin going into the main content, let me first of all say that if you enjoy this, if you find this helpful, please leave a like and a comment. It really does help me out. And also if you think some of your friends or guildmates might find this helpful, feel free to share it with them as well. Alright, let's start by looking at the event rewards. Now as I said, I have already made a video on the Butterfly set, or Butterfly Sanctuary set, so check that out. Just a quick recap, the set itself is very similar to the Fall set or the Harvest Barn set. It has a main building, the Butterfly House. This has 5 levels, and this one you need to connect all the other pieces to get all the bonuses, all the rewards. And this gives a bunch of forge points and goods, as you can see. And then you have 6 gardens. These gardens are the same as the fields for the Fall set. You have quite a lot of them that give attack. So the Wildflower Meadow here gives 10% attack boost. The Marigold Patch gives 6 combined attack boost. Snapdragon Bloom gives 5. And then Daylily Flower Bed 7% defense. So a lot of these give nice, very decent attack values. And then the last two, the Sapphire Arch and the Magenta Arch, give some very nice amount of forge points. So again, if you want to learn more about that, do check out my video. Now one thing that I want to cover though is how many set buildings can you expect to get. So first of all, from the milestones, you get 1 Butterfly House level 1 and 1 Butterfly House upgrade kit. And you also get 2 Butterfly Garden selection kits. So 2 of each here. And then when it comes to the grand prizes, you will first get 3 Butterfly House upgrade kits, from grand prize 1, 3 and 5. Then you will get 6 Butterfly Garden selection kits from grand prize 7 to 17. So as you can see here, this alternates between giving you house upgrade kits and garden selection kits. So after these 6 garden selection kits, it now goes back to giving you house, first level 1, and then another 4 upgrade kits. So after these first 17 grand prizes, it alternates between 5 house upgrade kits and 6 garden selection kits. Now what that means is that if you are mainly after the garden kits, it means that after grand prize 17, you have to go all the way back to, so all the way through these, all the way back here to grand prize 7 again before you can get more garden selection kits. So that means that in practice, I would not recommend going above a grand prize 17. Getting to grand prize 17 should be very possible with the free currency. So I would not focus on getting more than that or spending diamonds to get more than that. Because if you are mainly after the garden selection kits, you will have to waste quite a lot getting the house upgrades before you can go back. So yeah, but I will go over diamond spending in a moment. But for free, you can get all the 5 levels you need for the Butterfly House. So those 2 from milestones, as I mentioned here, as well as these 3 from grand prizes. Then when it comes to the Butterfly Gardens, you can get the 2 selection kits from the milestones, as well as 6 from grand prizes. So that's all of these. Then you can also get 3 butterfly set selection kits. You can get 2 from the calendar if you do that, and I do recommend you do that, but I will talk more about that in a moment. And then you can also get 1 from the event surprise box if you have that. So in total, you can get 5 levels, and you can get 11 garden buildings in total. So yeah, up to 11 if you include these 3 selection kits here. So that's what I based my my layouts on in my guide. You can find it here on the side as well. But yeah, up to 11 butterfly garden selection kits for free. All right, now let's move on to daily specials. And honestly, I don't really think there are a lot of great ones. We do have the Ferris wheel, which of course is good. It gives some very nice amount of attack, up to 26% attack for the Great Wheel variation, and up to 32% defense for the Wonder Wheel variation. So both of these are good. They're not amazing in terms of efficiency. Definitely a lot of better buildings. The main building for this is better, but they are still quite nice, and you do of course get all of the other rewards as well. So these are good buildings, but with that said, getting all the 10 levels you need will not be that easy. I would guess that most people who go for it probably will not get 10 kits, will probably not get 10 daily specials. Now you might get some, and as I'll go over in a moment, you can probably get upwards of 10 daily specials, but that is if you spend all your currency, and you will probably not be able to spend all your currency during the days with these 2 daily specials, or with the Ferris wheel daily special. And also, I personally recommend going for the calendar, and doing so, you will definitely not be able to get the Ferris wheel. So I think most people will not be able to get the Ferris wheel for free. So then it becomes a choice for you. Do you want to pick up pieces and then wait until it comes to the antique dealer? Or perhaps if you have some spare from last year, you can use those. But do you want to do that? Or do you want to, for example, go for the Sentinel Outpost instead? This, again, as I'm sure a lot of you know, or all of you know, is a very good building. The most efficient defense building in the game. So it might just be as simple as just go for the Sentinel. Or, as I'll go over later on, more or less ignore the daily specials. You don't care about which you get, you simply pick them up as you go. But I'll go over that in a moment. So when it comes to attack, personally, I would probably simply recommend the Sentinel Outpost. The Carousel, it's nice if you want a lot of attack quickly, but it's not really that great anymore. It's quite outdated, so yeah, I probably wouldn't recommend it, but it's an option if you want to. Now, when it comes to forge points, here as well, the Wonder Wheel, or the Ferris wheel, specifically the Wonder Wheel, is the best option. It's better than the World's Fair and the Airship when it comes to forge points, both when it comes to forge points per tile, and also forge points per tile, but also forge points per daily special. So out of these 3 options, the Wonder Wheel or the Ferris wheel is the best option. So yeah, you don't really want to go for either the World's Fair or the Airship. You will go for the Ferris wheel. That said, the same applies here. You probably will not be able to get enough pieces for it. So in that case, the 2 other options are the Lord's Manor and Shrine of Knowledge. And honestly, I don't think I would get either of these. The Lord's Manor gives the most forge points per daily special, but it's very big, it's not efficient at all. It does give a lot of population, so that might be of interest to you, but no, I probably wouldn't get this either. Shrine of Knowledge, quite outdated, so I don't think I would get that. So actually, when it comes to forge points, I would probably just focus on the grand prize. Simply ignore the daily specials and get whatever you get. Sell most to the antiques dealer, or go for some of the situational daily specials. So for example, you have the Rogue Hideout and Rogue Hideout Shrink Kit. Those might be of interest to you. Renovation Kit, for example, might be a good option if you're planning to move up an age or 2 in, if you plan to do that. 6-hour mass supply rush might be interesting if you want to speed up your events. Globe Fountain is very nice for the antiques dealer, so you can do that. Perhaps I should change the abbreviation so that people don't think it's for attack. So yeah, this is for the antique dealer. And then also wishing well shrink kit. That's an option for diamond farms out there, or at least it was on beta. So we expect that to come on the live event as well, but we never know, of course. So yeah, that might be an option there. But again, for diamond farms, I probably would just skip this event because I don't think it's a good one for daily specials at all. Alright, then here we have my quest cheat list if you are interested. This is not a complete list of quests, but these are the ones that I find challenging. If you want a complete list, you can go to the wiki. You'll find that here on the wiki, on the fandom wiki. Here you have all the quests. I really like this, and one thing in case you didn't know, if you click on a quest it will hide, so this is a very nice tool to you can keep track of which ones you've done. But yeah, here we have kind of a cheat sheet of the ones that I find difficult, or not really difficult, but things I need to plan ahead for. So the production quests, building ones, you need to have space prepared for that, exchanging the antique dealer, and so on. So yeah, there we can find that, and with that out of the way, let's move on to event mechanics. And honestly, if you are completely new to this event, I would recommend that you go check out my video from last year. I think I actually did quite a good job last year. I was quite happy with that video, and in that video I do explain all the mechanics, how to use tools and all of that, and I don't really see any need of repeating most of that. I will of course do a recap in this video here, but if you want to learn more about it, if you are completely new to the event, I would recommend watching my video from last year. Because outside of the rewards, it's practically, or it is the same mechanics. So yeah, I would check that out if you want to learn more about that. But yeah, I will do a quick recap now in this video. So the currency for this event is scrolls. In total, you can get almost 6,800 for free. And that is quite a big jump from last year. I don't remember the exact number, but I think it was around 5,000. So a very nice improvement there compared to last year. So that's nice. That's because you need a few more pieces, I believe, for the main building. But in any case, that's very nice, very welcome. You can, of course, pick up incidents. I don't think this is a particularly good event for incidents, but you should probably be able to pick up a few hundred there as well. And then, of course, you have the tablets that I'll go over in a moment. And from the tablets, you should be able to get many hundreds, perhaps even above 1,000 free scrolls. So that's very nice. Now, when it comes to the tools, or the tool costs, they are the same as last year. You start with 7 brushes, 3 shovels, and 1 dynamite. And to buy tools, ideally, you want to use the big bundles. These cost 395 scrolls, that is the same as last year. And with this cost and the number of scrolls you start with, you can pick up 17 of these big bundles here. And of course, if you do tablets and so on, you should be able to pick up even more than that. So, the minigame basics, let's go over that. Now the basic idea is to dig out these sand tiles, find all of these hidden rewards. All of these rewards you see on the board here were originally hidden behind tiles like this. So your goal is to use your tools to dig out all of these. And I'll go over the tools in a moment. Now there are 6 different types of rewards hidden behind these tiles. You have these golden idols here. These count towards the grand prize. So 20 of these for each grand prize. Then you can also pick up tools from the board, from the minigame. So as you play, you'll be able to pick up a few additional tools that you can use again. Then here you have the daily gem. This counts for the calendar. And again, I will go over that in a moment. So if you pick up that, that will count towards the calendar. This here is a tablet. And again, I will go over that in a moment. And then finally, we have the vases here. The vase is the chest we are familiar with from most events. This includes some reward with a chance of giving the daily special. And as you can see, the switch is of course a thing that was introduced last archaeology event, I believe. So yeah, that's what comes standard now, luckily. So yeah, you can get the daily special among other rewards from the vases. Then finally, there are also one more reward that is not visible on this example here, and that is an avatar. You can pick up old avatars in this minigame, so if you care about that, that's a nice one as well. All right, let's talk a little bit about the different tools. So first of all, you have the brushes here, and the brush simply picks up or digs out one tile. So the brush can be used here, for example, to dig out this tile. It would unlock that tile. And now when you unlock a tile or dig out a tile all the way at the right side of the board, the entire board will be shifted one tile to the left. So you will get, how many? 6 new tiles unlocked on the side here. One nice trick is that you don't actually have to pick up all of these rewards. When they go out of the board here, they will automatically be picked up. So that's quite nice. Anyways, then you have the shovel here. The shovel must be used on an empty tile. And when you use it, you dig out all the tiles in a column. So if I used the shovel here, for example, I would dig out all of these 3 sand tiles here. If I use the shovel here, for example, I would dig out all of these 3 tiles here. Of course, there's something behind those tiles, so I wouldn't do that. But that's how we can use the shovel. One thing about the shovel, the walls here, these walls here can't be removed. And if you use the shovel here, it would not pick up or dig out the sand tile here, if that was the case. Then finally, you have the dynamite here. The dynamite must also be used on an empty tile, and when you use it, you will blow up all of the tiles, all the 8 tiles surrounding it. So if I use the dynamite here, it will blow out all of these 8 tiles here. Or of course, though, it wouldn't remove the walls, it would only remove the sand tiles. So if I use that here, this would be uncovered, and I could then pick this up. Now it is hidden behind sand, I cannot pick it up yet, so I do need to dig it out, either with a shovel or one of these tools. So that's the tools. I've gone over the rewards, I've gone over the tools. Let's talk about the tablets. So here you see your collection. This you open by clicking on this button up here. Then you will either go to the tablet or the reward calendar. I think it goes to the last one you entered. So if you click on the tablet museum, you will see all of your current tablets. So as you can see, there are 8 different types of tablets. You have these 4 top ones here. These are the common tablets and are naturally more common. You have these 3 silver tablets, even though to me they don't really look silver. And then finally you have this, the golden tablet, the most rare one. Now each of these tablets, when you start them, you get a small quest line, which gives you some rewards. And if you want to look at the quest lines, again, you can do that on the fandom wiki. There's a link down here. So here you have all of the quest lines for the clay tablets. You can open all of these, and here you can see how they work. So you have 5 quests for each of these tablets. When you start it, this quest line will be added to your normal event quest. So you will have, if you have a lot of tablets active, you will have quite a lot of quests active at the same time. But yeah, here you get, as you can see, 5 scrolls for every for every quest that you complete, or for the first 4 ones, and then the final one, the 5th one, gives you a small reward. So you can see the first one here gives a Wisteria Topiary, which is a decoration. The next one gives 2 blueprints, then large medals, 2 fragments of a wishing well, 2 hour mass supply rush, stranded both, witch doctor, and finally royal marble gateway. So as you can see, most of these are quite mediocre, not really that great. The royal marble gateway is of course very nice, but outside of that, the main reason, or one of the main reasons you do these, is to get these additional scrolls here. 20 might not seem a lot, but if you do a lot of these tablets, it does add up indeed. So if you complete all of these 8 tablets, or if you complete one of each of these tablets, you will get the Historian reward. The Historian reward gives you 30 brushes, 10 shovels, and 10 dynamite. That is very nice. That's quite a lot. It's roughly worth 570 scrolls, those tools. So very nice with reward. You will also get this avatar here the first time you do it, if you care about that. Now, after you have completed a historian reward, you can get further ones if you complete more sets of tablets. So after you've completed all 8 tablet ones, if you do that one more time, you will get you will get a second reward here. The same rewards, except you don't get the avatar, but you will still get the tools. So very nice. And if you're lucky enough, you will get multiples of these, but it is not guaranteed. Here, for example, you can see that I am missing this tablet here, which is a shame, and that means that I can't get the historian reward. This is something that people always complain about, which is quite understandable. So yeah, you're not guaranteed to get it. But with more event currency this year, I think you should be able to, or you're more likely to get all, but again, not guaranteed. Now, one thing, you can start all of these 8 quests at the same time, but you can only have one tablet of the same type active at the same time. So you can see that I have 14 of this tablet here, but I can only have one of them active at the same time. So after I've completed it, then I can start the next one. And the game keeps track of how many I have completed. So if I complete all of these 14 ones, and then I complete a set of tablets, it knows that I have already completed a second set of this type, so that will automatically count towards the second set of the historian reward. So you don't have to complete the first historian reward before you start on the other ones, in case you were worrying about that. All right, now, based on my testing, let's see, where are the numbers? Yeah, here. So based on my testing, I had to spend around 150 to 200 scrolls per tablet. So that means that with the amount of scrolls you have, you should be able to get somewhere between 35 and 50 tablets. And that means you can get quite a lot. So 50 tablets, 20 scrolls each, that's 1,000 additional scrolls. So that's very, very much. So you definitely do want to do the tablets if you're able to, because they do give quite a lot of scrolls if you add it up, if you do a lot of them. And of course, if you complete a set of tablets, if you get the historian reward, you will get 570 scrolls worth of tools. So you get tools directly here. So yeah, that's very nice, and you definitely do want to do that. So yeah, I recommend doing that. Now let's move on to the calendar. The calendar was introduced last year, I think, or 2 years ago. I think it was last year. But the calendar, unlike the winter event, is actually something I recommend you complete, and it's actually quite easy to complete. So how does this work? Well, each day, so on day 1, for example, this slot here will be available. And if you play the minigame and pick up a gem on the board, as I've shown a little bit above here, so here you have a gem. So the first time I pick that up on a day, I will fill in this slot. So now I'm on day 13 in this example. I picked up the gem and I filled in this slot. I can then click on it to redeem a reward. And if I do that on all 21 days, I will also get the main reward here. Which gives you 2 butterfly sanctuary selection kits. So that's very nice. These you can use for gardens, and that's the main reason I definitely do recommend that you go for this. You can also go, or you will also get 200 forge points and 100 goods, which is quite nice, and you will get an avatar if you care about that. Now, you don't actually have to complete all of, or get a gem every day. You also have these gem shards over here. So after you have picked up a gem on a day, if you continue playing and pick up another gem that day, that will become a shard instead. So in this example, I spent all of my currency on one day, and you can see that I picked up quite a few shards, shard gems. And with those gem shards, sorry, and with those I can fill in empty slots that I haven't redeemed. So here I am on day 13. I have missed all the previous days. This is on beta, so I didn't care. But with these gem shards, I can fill out these empty slots that I haven't redeemed. So it costs 5 shards, which means that for every 5 shards you pick up in the minigame, you can create 1 gem. So that does mean that you can't simply rely on, or you can't simply spend all your currency on one day to get these gem shards. But yeah, when you use those, you can fill in a slot, and that slot will be redeemed. And that's a way to complete all of these without having to play on every single day. Now, how many gems can you get? Based on my testing, I had to spend around 180, 190 scrolls, which means that for free you should be able to get around 35 to 40 gems. That is more than the 21 you need. So that means that you can play strategies where you don't play on every day. Then on certain days you spend a lot more, pick up gem shards instead of simply the daily gem. And then you use those shards for the days where you skipped, where you didn't play the minigame for the daily gem. Now you can also get gem shards from the daily challenges. Each day, one of the daily challenges will give you 1 gem shard as the reward. So if you choose that and do that each day, you will get 20 gem shards there. That is 4 daily gems. So one strategy you can use is that you can play on 13 days. So if you play on 13 days, pick up the daily gem those 13 days and then stop playing. So you only play until you get the shard, until you get the gems, sorry. Do that for 13 days. Then for 1 or 2 of those days, you spend a lot more. You pick up a lot of gem shards. If we have 35 to 40 in total, that means you should be able to get over 20 gem shards in addition to those 13 gems. So those 20 shards will give you 4 full gems. The 20 shards from the daily challenge will give you 4 full gems. So 8 full gems in addition to those 13 daily gems is 21 in total, and that is enough to get to this. So that's a possibility. Of course, you don't have to go that extreme. You could, for example, pick up, I don't know, 15, 16 daily gems, and then the remaining gems you use gem shards on. But yeah, again, if you want to learn more about that, I did talk about it in my event guide from last year. So again, do check that out if you want some more details on it, and I think perhaps a better explanation of it as well. So yeah, I definitely do recommend going for the calendar because of the butterfly sanctuary sets. Now going for the calendar does mean that you don't get or you can't really choose as much which days you spend on, which means that you will not be able to get as many of the daily special you want. But as I've already mentioned, you probably won't be able to get that many daily specials. So I think it's better to focus on the calendar to get those 2 butterfly sanctuary set. I think that is worth it. But I'll talk about that a little bit more in a moment. So yeah, that's the calendar. Now let's talk a little bit about strategies. So there are 3 main strategies. First of all, focusing on grand prizes. Then you have focusing on daily specials. And then lastly, simply going for everything. So what are these and what's the differences between them? And no matter which one you go for, you can do that with or without going for the calendar. So going for the calendar doesn't really impact how you play the minigame. It simply impacts when you play it. So instead of spending everything on 1 or 2 days, if you go for the calendar, you have to do that over a lot of days. So 13, 15 days, something like that. So these 3 strategies, they do have things in common. So you should always pick up tools in the minigame. Worst case, you use one tool to pick up another tool. So yeah, pretty much always pick up tools in the minigame. You should also always pick up tablets if you plan to do them. So each tablet is worth at least 20 scrolls if you complete it. The shovel is only worth 10 scrolls. So worst case, by going for the tablet, you gain 10 scrolls. So definitely always want to do that, but only if you do plan to get them. If you don't plan to do the tablets, then you should simply ignore them. Finally, if you are going for the calendar, you should pick up most gems, or if not all. So if you are at the end of the event, if you already have all the gems you need, then of course you don't need to pick up more. but especially early on in the event, I would pick up all the gems you can if you are planning to go for the calendar. Alright, so that's what these three have in common. Now what are the differences? So first, when focusing on grand prizes, you should focus on the golden idols, and you should ignore vases. So doing that, you will save some tools going for vases, and these you can use to get further and get more golden idols. So that's the basic idea. You will of course still pick up plenty of vases by doing this, because as you move ahead in the board, as you use your tools, your dynamite, your shovels, and so on, you will pick up quite a few vases, but you shouldn't go out of your way to pick them up. You should only pick up incidental one, as I say here. So yeah, when it comes to daily specials, it's exactly the reverse of that. You should focus on vases, pick up all of those, but ignore idols. So by ignoring them, you will get fewer grand prizes, but you will save tools not going for them, and those you can use on vases. Then finally, you have probably my favorite one: simply dig up everything. Go for all vases, go for all idols, and all of the rest, perhaps excluding avatars if you don't care about that. And also, if you don't care about tablets or the calendar, you shouldn't pick up those. But yeah, otherwise pick up pretty much everything. And just to be clear, this does not mean dig up every sand tile. You should not dig up every sand tile. You should only dig up sand tiles that contains things you want to see. So yeah, this does not mean that you should dig up every sand tile. Alright, now what are the differences between these? It's a little bit difficult to say, but I did do some testing, and I think my results are accurate in some parts and perhaps not that accurate in other parts. And I see that I need to refresh. I have an old version here. Alright, here we go. Sorry for that. I'm not editing this video, so one take, here we go. Anyways, if you go for strategy 1, going for grand prizes, based on my numbers, I needed to spend around 18.2 scrolls per golden idol. That is around 360 scrolls per grand prize. So a little bit under one big tool bundle per grand prize. So I think a good estimate is 1 grand prize per tool bundle. That would be around 20 scrolls per golden idol. So yeah, I think that's a good estimate to go for. Now going for this, I had to spend around 61 scrolls per vase. So yeah, you will get fewer of those. Now focusing on daily specials, here you can see that the number of scrolls per idol goes up quite a bit to around 25 scrolls per idol. And if we see down here, yeah, let's just go over it. So if we go for the grand prizes, 18.2, that is equal to 18 grand prizes plus almost one more, so almost 19 grand prizes for the 6,800 scrolls you can get for free. But if you use this number from daily specials, you will only get, based on my numbers at least, only around 13.5 grand prizes. So this means that if you do go for the daily specials, if you ignore idols, you will lose out on, yeah, probably 2 garden selection kits. And I think that's quite a big deal. And I think in this event, it's better to go for grand prizes for those garden pieces than it is to go for the daily specials. Then lastly, going for everything, going for all rewards. Here I got around 19 scrolls per golden idol, so quite close here. But I do think that is accurate. Now, one thing I'm not quite sure is accurate is what I had to spend per vase when it comes to here. So when I'm going for daily specials, I had to spend around 43 scrolls per vase. When I went for everything, I had to spend around 45 scrolls per vase. I'm not sure if that is accurate. I think I might have been either lucky here or unlucky there, because if I compare this to my Halloween numbers, I had to spend 61 scrolls per vase here when I went for everything during my testing there. and only 37 scrolls per vase here. So I'm not sure if these are completely accurate. Perhaps they are, but I would take these with a grain of salt. But in any case, when it comes to going for everything, this is still quite a nice number of scrolls per golden idol, and using those, you will get almost 18, so 17, a little bit over 17 grand prizes with the free event currency. And as you will recall, 17 grand prizes is what you need to get all the garden selection kits. So based on my testing at least, you should be able to get all the garden selection kits either with the strategy going for grand prizes or the strategy focusing on everything. So because of that, my recommendation is that you focus on everything, go for everything. That includes both vases and idols. I'm not sure if you will get as many vases as I did during my testing. That is probably going to be lower, I think, but you will should be able to get all the grand prizes you need to get all the garden selection kits. And these numbers here are excluding the tablets. So if you do the tablets, you will get additional ones, and you should be able to get a few more grand prizes as well. So I think if you do the tablets, you should be very safe, and if you're not a complete idiot as you play, you should be able to get all the 17 grand prizes you need while going for everything, so both idols and vases. All right. With that, I think you should go for the calendar. I think you should go for this strategy here, going for the calendar. And my idea is to play daily, 13 or 14 days, perhaps 15 days. And then the remaining shards or gems, I will use gem shards for. So that's my strategy. All right, how many daily specials can you expect? So there are 3 different types of vases. They range between 5 and 10% chance of giving a daily special. And now the distribution of these favor the vases with lower values, at least if this is the same as Halloween, which I do believe it is. So during the Halloween event, I estimated that on average, each vase will give around 6.76% chance of giving a daily special. So that's the number I have used here, but yeah, this is not completely accurate, but I think it's good enough. So using that number and 7,000 scrolls, the average daily specials using these 3 strategies, again based on my numbers, which I'm not sure are completely accurate, but based on those, when focusing on grand prizes, you should be able to get around 7 to 8 daily specials. Focusing on daily specials, around 10 to 11 on average. And going for everything, here I also have 10, but I do suspect that this will be lower for most people. So yeah, take this with a grain of salt. Now I have made a simple thingy here, a simple script here. So here you can enter how many scrolls you have, how many scrolls per pumpkin. So here I'm using this number here. So if I have that at 43, and I run that with a chance of 6.76, I will get a simple distribution of how many daily specials I'm expected to get. So here we have that distribution. I can click on it to zoom in a little bit. So yeah, average around 11, but yeah, you might get lucky to get more, unlucky to get less. But yeah, I think, even though, you might be able to be lucky and get a decent amount of daily specials, I don't think there's that good of a chance of it. And because the grand prizes are so good, I would focus on grand prizes. I would go for everything. I would not focus too much on daily specials, and I would go for the calendar. All right, now let's finally talk about diamond spending costs. And yeah, there are 3 packages when you are buying diamonds as usual. The most efficient one is 500 scrolls for 2,000 diamonds. That's quite expensive. Now, I see I messed up the formatting here, but if we look at the cost per grand prize, you have 20 scrolls. I just used 20 here, just for simplicity. So 20 scrolls. This is supposed to be times 20, 20 idols per grand prize, which is this is completely messed up, but the number is accurate. So around 1,600 diamonds per grand prize. Let's just go with that. Yeah, around 16,000. Now to get one additional full set of the building, you need another 22 grand prizes after the first 17. Of course, if you do get a few additional ones for free, this will be slightly lower. But if we, just for now, assume you have 17 grand prizes or complete 17 for free, that means the cost for an additional set is 35,000. So that's quite a lot. Now, if you only care about the gardens, because of the way the grand prizes are structured, you will still have to pay this to get 6 additional garden selection kits. So yeah, I don't think this is worth spending. Now, one thing though is that when you spend all of this additional scrolls here, you will be able to pick up quite a few tablets. So if you do them, you should be able to get around 60 tablets if my numbers are accurate. That equals 1,200 additional scrolls, and you also get more for each full tablet you complete. So I think you could probably save somewhere between 2,000 and 2,500 scrolls if you use the tablets when going for a second full set, which is quite a big saving. That should save you around 8,000 to 10,000 on this, so perhaps around 25,000. But that does require quite a bit of work, and I don't really think it's worth it. Now, when it comes to daily specials, this is quite expensive. So if we use the number I mentioned above, you need around 15 vases per daily special. So if you go for a strategy where you ignore the vases, you will have to spend around 900 scrolls per vase, or per 15 vases, which is around 3,500 diamonds per daily special. Now, if you do go for the vases, it's a little bit better, but still 2,500 diamonds per additional daily special. That's quite terrible, to be honest. You can get it for half that, even a third or even a fourth of that in other events. So yeah, I don't think it's worth spending diamonds, neither for additional grand prizes or for the daily specials. So basically my recommendation, I wouldn't spend diamonds on this event. Alright, I think that's it for this video. I've gone on way too long already, but it is what it is. So hopefully you found this interesting. Hopefully the timestamps were helpful. Now, before I end this video, I would like to thank my Patreons for their support. I would like to thank Homestar, Fort Prefect, Lorden, Rockin' Robin, Kim Cayley, Joshua Clark, Rolf the 8th, PQ the Goat, Dan Sumanad, Merrick B, Arkler, Hugo Kant von Count, Jan Fredriksen, Drew the Generous, Filda, Rush, Susan Weiss, Megarock, Rocco, Henrik Dare Klarberg, Mattia, Opshi the Obsessed, Raf, Kim, XD, Odd Aril, and Mike. Thank you all very much for your support. Thanks for watching. Again, I hope you found this helpful. If you did, feel free again to share it with your guildmates, with your friends, and please leave a like and a comment. If you have any questions, feel free to comment here in this video or on my website. And yeah, with that, thanks for watching, take care, and I will see you in the future.